When I was a child, we knew one black family, the Palmers. The oldest boy, Anthony Palmer, was my age. And one time, an older kid named Lonnie Jacobs sold me a bike ramp he had built for $5. But he also sold Anthony the bike ramp for $5. Anthony and I did not know the bike ramp had been sold to both of us. We ended up in a fight over this. Anthony won fair and square. To us, it was just two kids in a fight over a bike ramp. It was probably fourth grade. But I can remember what a big deal it was around the neighborhood that the black kid had beat up the white kid. And Anthony and I didn't think like that at all. But there was a social construct around it. We went on to become really good friends. We worked a summer together hanging flyers for Snappy Tomato Pizza. His grandmother and my mother talked, and I guess they decided that was the best idea. So we worked that summer together, and we used the money to buy a moped, a little Honda 50 that we rode and let other kids ride in the neighborhood. We were the coolest kids in town for a little bit there, and that was really cool. I liked Anthony. I'd still like to see him again someday. But for a long time, I guess that social construct always existed, but I really didn't think about it much until COVID happened and all. I was asked to read all these books, and I was asked to, look inward at myself, and I did a lot of those things, and I did understand what systemic racism was, and I could link it back to that event with Anthony that I had seen it in practical application. Um, but I think what I'm trying to make a point of is when that happened, an idea was attached to Anthony that was not true. Anthony was a good kid, and there was just some type of thing attached to him, a cultural idea that wasn't true. But I kind of think the same thing happens both ways because I'm a person who has had a very hard life. I've been homeless a lot. I've traveled around a lot. I didn't know who my father was till I was 23. I've had a lot of issues, chemical dependency and substance use disorder, things like that. But when I put on a suit and go street perform, there's a cultural idea attached to me, and I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but it's definitely people look at me totally different than they looked at me when I used to street perform in New Orleans in my train hopper clothes. There's some type of cultural nuance attached. And I think we're in a position where, because of we've documented everything with these screens for like 20 years, it's no longer the tough guy can dominate the narrative. The money is documented with the blockchain, and our search histories are all documented too. So very soon, everything that we actually do in practical application will be able to be reviewed for a whole generation or two. And I wonder if we're ready for that. And I wonder how that's going to pan out. I'm interested in seeing the truth. That's what I want to see. So, yeah, let's go.